Hey gang, welcome to Table Talk, the only place where we talk about your topics and your questions via the hashtag Table Talk and the Reddit /r/SourceFed. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm laughing because you said the only place. I'm like, yes, this is the only place.
This is the only place
where we talk about things that you suggest.
Well, it's if you listen to the rest of the sentence, it's the only place where we talk about your topics and questions on the hashtag Table Talk.
It's the only place to talk about your topics.
Your topics and your questions. Also, if you want to get some awesomeness like this here Dark Mark shirt or like Trisha's shirt.
If you want to get your own version of these shirts.
You should go to forhumanpeoples.com and buy some awesome shirts and hoodies and phone cases and all the greatness.
Posters?
Yeah.
Not that.
Not that.
Shirt.
That's.
You can get this shirt at JCPenney.
What is that from, Steve? I can't see it because you're best.
It just says haters gonna hate. It's got unicorns and space on it.
But it's not a unicorn, it's a Pegasus.
Yeah, there's no horn.
Well, there's one unicorn over here.
Okay.
Oh, and he's sad because he doesn't have fucking wings.
Yeah. I'd be sad too if my friend was a Pegasus and I was just a unicorn.
Yeah.
Unless the horn has magical abilities, then that
Well,
could be
all
okay.
unicorn horns have magical abilities.
Do they?
What are we talking? Yes, of course. Ground up unicorn horn is one of the rarest.
Ground up, but like if I'm the unicorn and I have the horn, can I like activate magical
You
power?
can probably shoot people with it.
Yeah.
Lasers or something.
Unicorn horn lasers?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the year 2050, unicorns raised from the dead and took over the world with their unicorn lasers. So saith the wizard, so saith the sage.
The wizard from the moon.
From the moon. Humans retreated to
Steve.
the moon to save themselves
Steve,
from...
where was that wizard from?
That wizard came from the moon. I'm not gonna let it die.
I don't want you to let it die.
I want it. I'm gonna continue. I will never let it go. And I can't believe that Bungie even made T-shirts and they still
Did they
cut
really?
it out. Yeah.
What, they cut it out even after they made t-shirts?
It's weird.
Why?
That's so
I know.
dumb. Because they're like...
It was definitely cut out of the alpha.
I'm very
Or was it the
sad.
beta?
It's gotta
It was
be
cut out of
back.
the
It
beta.
gotta come back.
That wizard came from the moon,
All right.
guys. All right, Jack.
We won't forget where the wizard came from.
We won't.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Not soon.
Jack Offyu says on Reddit, if you could be anybody from any time period for a day, who would you be?
Benjamin Franklin was the first name that came to my head.
Okay, that's what we should do.
Ben
First
Franklin,
person
time
to
traveler,
pop
or
in.
Ben Franklin?
Can I ask, just for me, how did that bit start? Because I just showed up and there were like posters and things.
Oh, the origin story
I'll
of
tell you.
BFTG.
I'll tell you a quick origin
and we'll
story.
answer this question in a second, but I want to know,
This,
and other people might not know.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is the absolute truth of where Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler came from.
It's my favorite.
When we were making political content for SourceFed, because we were about to do like
We're
a
covering
big
the
live,
presidential
we're-
election.
yeah,
It was
we're-
very important and serious.
Yes, it's very important and serious. Each host was tasked with writing content for the political things,
Right.
like to fill up time for our big live show.
Because we were going
Serious
live for like 6
content
hours.
about
Yes,
politics.
yes, like you got it. Like let's fill it up with like how do you vote and what is the
What is the electoral college?
What is the electoral college?
Yeah.
So we were making little interstitials like that.
And it was just whatever to fill up time because we were gonna be doing a 6-hour
We were live
Yeah.
for 6 hours.
thing,
Can you
so we
imagine
wanted
that?
to throw in pre-made
This
content.
crew live for 6 hours.
I would
So-
get incredibly loopy very quickly.
Right, so we had pre-made content for potty breaks and
Yeah.
stuff.
So I went over to James and had a meeting with James in his office alone, and I said, James, I have to admit something to you. I am not interested in politics,
Yeah.
and I know nothing about politics. I know, right? This is a
Whoa.
big announcement.
Not a
Shocker.
great
Big
message.
reveal.
Not a
And I
message for
said,
the people.
I don't know what to make for this stuff other than something funny. So can I do a song? And can I do
The
like...
song was great.
Thank you.
You had a couple
Thank
songs
you. Yeah,
for
I did the master
presidential
debate
election.
and I did election night, the election night song.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, fine, do some songs. And I was like, and also, would it be all right if I did like a sketch or something? Can I do like a sketch? And he's like, yeah, you know what? Everyone else is doing all this other stuff. Fine, make a sketch. Yeah. It was almost like, fine, let the little kid have his toy.
whatever. You go
Yeah,
play.
go ahead and play.
And like as soon as the door closes, he's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
all right,
I've got
well,
work to do.
At
Get
least we'll
out of
have
here.
some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
in fact, it was James going like, I know I'm covered with stuff, so like if Steve wants to do one more thing that's a sketch, it probably won't even
It's
make it
okay.
in, and it
Right.
might not even be a thing. So
I'll
I
deal with it
went
later.
and sat down and wrote Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler Traveler because I was like, I just want to have fun, and if it has to involve some sort of, that was the other stipulation. James was like, fine, do a sketch, but it has to be political. It has to have some sort of political ground to it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler, and I read the idea to everyone in the writer's room, and they were like, you're kidding, right? Like, you're not gonna do that, right? And I was like, yeah, I am gonna do it. And everyone was like, that's a really bad idea, and it's not funny, and what are you doing?
Hey, but Lee in that Abe voice, though.
I know, and I was like, but Lee, you're gonna be Abraham Lincoln, and I'm gonna be Benjamin Franklin, and Lee is like, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be, like, no.
It sounds amazing
And
to
I was
me.
like,
I don't
all right,
understand.
I'm gonna write it, and then I'm gonna read it to you guys, and then we'll see. And so I wrote it, and I read it, and everyone was like, this is ridiculous, you have to do it.
Yeah.
So that was
Please
it, that was
make
the
this
order.
a
Alright,
thing.
okay.
And then Phil promptly thought it was the worst thing he had ever
Yeah,
seen.
Phil was like-
and forbid us from
Yeah.
ever doing it
Again?
ever
Yeah, in
again.
fact,
But
I
all
think-
the posters and the things.
I mean, eventually he came around to.
eventually.
Okay.
I think it was a combination of fan outcry of
Yeah.
wanting more, and also Phil just couldn't say no with me and my puppy dog eyes in my
There
Benjamin
was a
Franklin
lot
outfit.
of. Well, because then we did. When did you? You guys did
Please
the
let
origin
me
of
put a
Halloween.
key on a kite.
Oh yeah, we
Ben
did.
and Ben and Abe did,
did,
a
yeah.
white wall
Oh,
of the
really?
origin
Well,
of
after-
Halloween, and then Phil was like, "If I see it again, you're all fired."
Well, I think
If
there
I
was.
see it
I
again.
think there was a text. There was a text to someone. It wasn't to me, and it said, "If I see Steve in the Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler outfit at the office one more time, I'm gonna burn the office down." And so that's when we were like, "It's a no-go," and that's when
no-go.
we did the Ben Franklin Halloween, the history of Halloween,
which
white
is one of
wall.
my
And that was
favorite
Which was the
videos.
last time we did Ben
Ever.
Franklin, and we basically put him to rest. And then when the Christmas special came around, I was like, Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler Christmas special?
Yeah.
And by then it had all boiled over, and they were like, fine, let Steve do more Ben Franklin. So that's it.
Okay.
And then we all did Ben Franklin.
And then
Yeah.
we were all involved, yeah. And hopefully, if we're still doing another Christmas special this
Dude.
year, we can get you in there. Do you have a request for a famous?
For a famous, like,
Well, because Ross was John Lennon,
Right.
And Meg was Jackie Onassis, and
Okay.
Trisha was Mary Todd Lincoln.
oh wow.
So like, and Joe was Teddy Roosevelt. So you could essentially pick whoever
Joe's
you
Teddy
want.
Roosevelt
Joe
was amazing.
specifically requested Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because here's the thing. As soon as we started talking about it, I'm like, man, people's fucking heads would explode if Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler met Thaddeus J. Spider.
Oh my god!
But that might be too much silly
I could just
for
see
one video.
Ben Franklin in Thaddeus's chariot, and they're like,
yeah, and they're just
They
like
could.
trotting along through the spider fields,
yeah,
all
having
these spiders rock looking for
Yeah.
other spiders and
Yeah.
capturing
But
them.
if you have the Thaddeus head on when you're Thaddeus, you could effectively still be another historical figure.
That's true. You're right.
I kind of liken it to when Gandalf and Saruman meet, for
Yeah.
like in the Two Towers, or is it Fellowship?
yeah, my old friend.
Yeah, and they're like
Oh,
hanging out in
boy.
Orthanc, and they're just like doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would you guys
Is it
be?
Orthanc? Is that what
Any history person from any time, who would you be? My mind immediately went to Lucille Ball. Because I'd love to just run my own TV station.
Hell yeah. She was the most powerful woman in Hollywood.
Yeah, amazing.
I just want to work around Jim Henson.
Okay.
I don't want to be Jim Henson.
That's
you
too
wanna
much
be like his
pressure.
executive
Do you want to be
assistant?
Frank Oz, maybe?
I want to be Frank Oz. Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
there
do
you
Frank
go.
Oz. Yeah. I'd like to be Frank Oz for a day, in the heyday of the Jim Henson days. Just what were those guys talking about, and what kind of fun were they having, and how creative was that environment?
You know what? I'd want to be either John D. Rockefeller or Charlie Chaplin
close.
if we did another
Oh, okay, if we
Franklin
did another
Time
Ben
Traveler.
Franklin? Okay.
But also I'd pick either of those guys, like, for this question too. One, just because, like, I want to know what it's like to have that level of wealth in that time.
Right.
Because there will never be anything approaching that again. You look at their houses and how they lived, these massive palaces.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been to Hearst Castle?
I haven't
I
been.
haven't.
I almost went. I was
You
this
did.
close.
You almost went
This
recently.
close, and then we didn't reserve a spot. It was very.
I think there are
busy
like
weekend.
6 pools there.
Yeah.
Like 6 pools, and like everything is carved.
Why do you
everything
need
is
6
gold.
pools?
I would like 6 pools.
Why do you need 6 pools?
Because sometimes-
Are you getting out of one pool and going into another one?
Maybe, yeah. maybe one's a cold pool,
One's a hot pool.
I don't think you
and
want
one's
6 pools.
Yes, you do, because
pool.
because
maybe
when it's
one's
sunny
a lap
out, you want to
pool.
go swim in the solarium.
You know what?
And then when
How
it's
about
at night,
this?
you want to swim in the
Hold
gallery.
on. Hold on. Let's put aside American excess really
If
quick.
I had
And
money
let me
that I could
suggest-
use as toilet paper, I would
Let me
have 6
suggest
pools.
something. Can I suggest something to you, even if you had money as toilet paper? 2 pools. Are you ready? Now, before you go, oh, but J.D. Rockefeller had 6 pools. 2 pools.
Okay.
One's indoors
Uh-huh.
and climate controlled.
Yes.
And one is
And one is outdoors and is, whatever. It's a cold pool for a
then
hot
you
day.
don't have-
And it's got like a slide. It's got like
But what about like a natural hot spring?
Yeah,
or
natural
like a
hot
mud
spring.
pool for detoxing,
Yeah,
or a
or
wave pool for
like-
exercise.
But I mean,
or like a
think of the
saltwater
maintenance.
pool.
Yes.
Yeah, but what do you want a fucking saltwater pool?
Because
in
then you
your
can
house
swim
for?
with
Float
fish.
easier.
Why don't you just go to the beach and swim with fish?
Because I want to swim with fish in my
and not
house.
sharks.
So you
Yeah,
never
not
want. So you
sharks.
want to create a little box for you to live in that has everything in the world you need in one place.
I want to be a snail. I want
What?
to be a snail.
Where-
I want to
where
have
did
my.
that come from?
Because he's saying a little box where you have all the things that you want,
In
and it's
one
also
little
in
place.
one little
Or
place,
like a
and it's
genie
water.
in a
It'd
genie
be-
lamp.
Yeah, except then you're trapped.
No one needs 6 pools.
Okay.
I agree.
Not when there's
No
people
one
starving. And not when there's people dying.
6 pools.
Well, back
But
then you could get away with it because there was so much like.
Back then you could get away with it because you just beheaded the people
My
that
thing
disagreed with
is
you.
that even if I'm filthy rich,
Yeah.
filthy, my car will still be like a smart
Yeah.
car. Like it'll still be.
Oh, so
Smart
you have
cars
some
can
you have
be
some gold
expensive.
dust on you. So
Oh, thank
you're
you.
Filthy.
Thank you.
You're
very
so
much.
filthy.
Even if I'm filthy rich, I've got gold dust in my on my face. Thank you. Please pay the mortgage with that, please. I still
don't
want
want to see his
my
face dust at
my dream car is the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean.
Yeah.
Like that's my dream
The
car.
Mr. Fusion
Not
DeLorean.
some Ferrari race thing or anything.
Did you see
like
the
that.
sideshow DeLorean?
Yes.
The interior was perfect.
It lights up and everything, and that Marty looks so good. That was the coolest thing I saw.
Yeah.
At Comic-Con, for
At
sure.
all of them.
That and Smaug.
Isn't it? It's like 2 feet long. The car.
Yeah, the car's
cool.
like about that big.
Yeah.
It's like just big enough that I'm like, I want that car.
You know what though? I looked at it and I was like, that would be a killer coffee table centerpiece. Like it's the right size to
Yeah,
be.
Screw this bowl.
Especially with Marty doing his poster pose, and then Doc coming soon to go right behind him.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Freaking Crappy says, first band you ever fell in love with? Weird Al. Well, Weird Al's not really a band, but if we're talking band, the first artist I fell in love with was Weird Al, and then the band I fell in love with was Oingo Boingo.
Nice.
Oh wow.
For sure.
Cool choice.
I mean, I bought every fucking record. I had everything, and that you gotta listen
Okay.
to. Only a Lad. That album is that's my teenage years. Just so good.
All
Great
right.
stuff.
I had terrible taste in music as a child.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Well, because I was just very, very sheltered. So like the only things, like, did you guys have like a box of cassette tapes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All I had was Disney,
Okay.
That's fine.
a couple Broadway,
Awesome.
That's fine.
Yanni live at the Acropolis, and a Bond themes collection.
That's okay too.
But that's all I listened to, pretty much until Linkin Park happened in middle school.
And then you got into Linkin
And
Park.
that was like, and Linkin Park was the first band
So Linkin Park's the first band you got into.
that I got into. I mean, I got into music late. I was like 13, and I was just like, this is the coolest. They get it. They fucking get
Yeah.
it, and it's cool. And I just listened to Paper Cut over and over
Yeah.
and over and over again. I think Hybrid Theory was the name of the album. Paper Cut was a song on the album. And that's when I like started listening to the radio, and that's like how I eventually found my way into like rock and classic rock and indie and everything, was just
Well,
because
so you were late bloomer in the classic rock
late
world.
bloomer.
Totally late
well, I
bloomer.
mean, my mom listened to the Eagles, but like that doesn't fucking count.
No.
And so so Linkin Park was the spring from which all music taste
love it.
grew. So I'm like,
nice.
so I'm a little ashamed.
No.
Slightly shameful.
No. No.
I don't want you to ever mention it
That
again.
Yanni. Oh my god. My first artist was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh boy.
I owned Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah, you
boy.
did.
Yeah, and then
you did.
my
That's the most perverted answer to that I've ever heard. I had achy breaky heart. Yeah, you did.
I knew the line dance.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was
Gross.
awesome. And then for band, I got two. My first 2 albums were Ace of Base.
Yeah, they were.
My first 2 albums were Ace of Base and Live. Live.
Oh, Live.
Cover.
Live's great. I alone love
Yeah.
you.
I love those.
Is
Were my
Live
first 2
Lightning
bands.
Crashes? That's Lightning Crashes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no,
Lightning
Lightning Crashes
Crashes.
is Lightning
Crashes and another cries.
Oh, now I feel it coming back again.
Yeah.
Like
a rolling thunder chasing the wind. I was just moving round and again. I can feel it.
Yeah.
That's
Live
great.
and Ace of Base.
I can feel it.
So my first CD
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
was Depeche Mode's Violator. I
Wow.
bought that on CD, and Enjoy the Silence is the most played song in my childhood home.
Okay.
After that, Jar of Flies. Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies.
Okay.
I Stay Away, Whale and Wasp. I don't know if No Excuses is on that album. It might be no. You guys Alice in Chains fans at all?
No.
When I was little, that's
Lane
for damn
Staley
sure.
for life, yo. Rest in peace.
I love it.
And then Radiohead's OK Computer was another
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
You
You guys
When I
were
was
so
younger.
cool.
See, my mom and
Green
dad
Day.
I didn't get
had
cool
Big
till later.
Green Day fan.
My mom and dad had a massive record collection, so we were
Oh,
like
so
digging
you
through
got
the
to
greats.
listen to that
We had
stuff.
the Beatles and Zeppelin, and there was some Prince in there, Michael
Nice.
Jackson. I mean, there was some really good stuff. Grew up with Duran Duran, Men at Work, Flock of Seagulls, Adam Ant.
My dad
Like,
had
oh.
those CDs, but like we didn't listen to them a lot. Like he listened to them in his office.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
That was dad.
That was dad music.
Yeah, he did.
What?
My favorite. You're such a perv. It's so gross.
Come on, Steve.
I had a character that I created years and years and years ago that was like a creepy uncle that would hang out at Christmas so all the family would be around for Christmas.
Wait, you created a creepy
I had a
character?
creepy uncle. I know,
Shocker.
right? So Matt, you're the kid who's
Okay.
excited about Christmas and you want to show your uncle the gift you just got, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm the creepy uncle. This was the character I had.
Okay.
Get ready.
Uncle Greg, look what I got.
What's that? What do you got there?
I got a G.I. Joe.
I'm watching Steve try not to break the whole time before he does anything.
What is it? What does it do?
Well, he talks. He talks. He's got like 6 phrases, and he's got a big gun. And when you push the button, it gets gun sound effects. And he's got
Don't
boots.
stop. Keep talking about it.
He's got boots, and he's got pants, and like, look, you can feel his hair. His hair is real.
So it's creepy.
That's pretty creepy.
That's creepy. He
It's
doesn't
pretty
say
creepy.
much. He doesn't say much.
No, he doesn't.
There it is. All right. What do you got, Matt?
At Tits McGee 1234556 says you have to grow 1 extra body part. Can be anything from a heart to an entire arm. 1 extra body part from.
I think a heart would be good because then you could just take care of that heart.
Yeah.
And you can fuck up the other one and eat whatever you
Right,
want.
or like an extra liver for that same purpose.
Yeah.
Like double liver power.
Yeah, if I have it, because I know, I mean, this is kind of morbid, but I'm pretty sure I'm going with a heart attack with all the food I eat.
No,
and with
you
all
eat
the
so healthy
I mean,
now.
I do, but
No,
I don't think there's
I
any
agree.
going back. I don't
Yeah.
think there's those arteries are like you only get one artery, a couple of arteries. How many arteries do you have? You have many arteries.
like
you only get
a
one.
lot of
How about this?
arteries.
You only get one set of arteries to your heart, so might as well. There's no.
I
going
want
back.
I want another arm on my
Because-
back that's specifically back there with pepper spray, just in case anyone sneaks.
All right.
Smart.
Well, that's
smart. That's
a good one,
defense.
yeah. What if you're like having sex and that thing is like having a good time and it's spraying
Also,
pepper
you'd
spray
always
on
be
that?
uncomfortable because anytime you're on your back, you're crushing an arm.
Yeah.
No, I'd find like a cute way to, like a dragon wing. I'd find a cute way to get back.
Gross. So it'd be like all like sweaty and wrapped up on your back like
It's
this.
weird.
And then if you forget to use it, it gets all atrophied, and so like you try to like move it out, and it's doing one of
Oh,
these
I
things.
use it every time I go out.
I want a butt head. I want a head just above my butt. so that when I moon people, I'll like moon them, and then my other head will be like, "Ha! Gotcha!" And they'll be like, "What? What was that?" And I'll be like, "I'm a monster," and I'll
Wait,
run away.
but then you'd be sitting on that face all day.
I'd be like, I'd be pushing it against. I guess you're right.
I think if you had a face right by your butt, you would be many sexual fetishists' dream
So
come true.
many.
I think so, because then people would be totally
Which
going
hole
from like
Yeah, they'd be like,
butt
"Which hole
mouth,
do I
butt
choose?"
mouth, butt mouth.
All right, I think we're
disease.
good, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
kids.
okay, hold on.
Shoot it.
Okay.
We'll end it on this, guys. Like, subscribe, annotation, all that stuff. Wish Matt luck. Oh!
So
Wait,
close.
what? Go,
Side
come on.
camera, it has to hit
no,
lens.
but it
Gotta
hit
hit the
side
lens,
and then
bro.
it hit lens. No!
It hit the side of the lens. It's gotta hit the
the
It's gotta
side.
hit the
It's gotta
lens
hit the
straight
lens.
on.
Don't break it.
How dare you?
I don't think I've ever wanted anything so badly in my
You'll get it,
Hey.
buddy. Hey, someday.
We'll do more
right?
table talk.
You promise?
Hey,
You
hey.
promise that
Hey.
we'll do 4 of them a week?
Hey,
Yeah, I
Matt.
promise we'll do 4
The
weeks.
sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be light.
It'll be sun.
Well,
Yeah, there will.
just thinking about tomorrow. Sorrow.
And the kicker.
Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow is always a day away.
You guys put all those little girls to shame.
Yeah, we did.